Hi, my friends. Today's Saturday, June 14th. And yes, it's Saturday, so you see me in my baseball cap. I recently went with my wife and Walter Yankowski and his wife to the Savannah Bananas game, and I'm wearing my Dodger sweatshirt. So, one of the things I'm grateful for today is it's Saturday. I'll shower at some point. My wife's been on a trip for a week to visit family, and she gets back tonight, so I'll definitely shower up before I go pick her up at the airport. But I'm just very grateful today, this Saturday. It's Father's Day weekend. And if any of you know me, you know how important my dad was and still is to me. Dad lived a month shy of his nine, or passed away a month shy of his 95th birthday. He would have been 95 on January 28th of 2022, and he passed away December 28th of 2021. So grateful that Dad had 94 really great years to make a massive impact on so many people. And many of you know, and I won't go into detail now about his memorial or his life or anything like that. I just want to share with you one thing that was really important and memorable about my dad. When he passed away, as everybody does, when you do a celebration of life, the family put together a nice program honoring his life, some of his favorite scriptures, laying out the agenda for the program as well. My wife had these bookmarks made up that has a picture of my dad playing the piano, my dad looking lovingly at my mom, which was not an uncommon thing, and then sitting at his kitchen table with stacks of books, including Bibles, where he would spend much of his mornings when he retired. He retired in 1991 and spent probably the last 34 years of his life reading, memorizing, and studying scriptures, poems, and things of that nature. And that leads me to what I want to share with you today. His favorite poem was written by Christian D. Larson. It's called Promise Yourself. And most of you have probably heard this, but I'm going to share it with you anyway because it was on the back of the bookmark. And I have a stack of these in my desk. I recently gave one to my sister-in-law who was looking for one. And I've handed these out to people. If you're in my storytelling group, you have this. If you're some of my other friends that I've seen around the community, you probably have this as well. I want to read this poem to you. My dad, as I mentioned before, had this memorized, and I don't. But anyway, here we go. It's called Promise Yourself. And I might stop throughout the poem and just kind of give a couple of thoughts. Promise yourself to be so strong that nothing can disturb your peace of mind, to talk health, happiness, and prosperity to every person you meet. It's so easy to be negative and talk about all the horrible things going on in the world, and there are. But to talk health, happiness, and prosperity to every person you meet. To make all your friends feel that there is something in them, to look at the sunny side of everything, and to make your optimism come true. As I read through this, I think my dad probably could have written this poem. I love that, to make all your friends feel that there is something in them. If you're my friend, you know I love you. If you're my family, you know I love you. You know I see great in you. And I strive every day to see that greatness in the people around me. Easy to see weaknesses, especially in the people we know the best because we know them the best. And it's easy for them to see weaknesses in us. But we should be striving always to see the good in everyone, that there's something in everyone, to see the sunny side of everything, and to make your optimism come true. I love that. Continuing on, promise yourself to think only the best, to work only for the best, and to expect only the best. And that means of yourself and of others. To be just as enthusiastic about the success of others as you are about your own. That's one of my favorite things with my dad, and my favorite people in this world is the true enthusiasm and excitement for someone else's success. Attended the Orange County Business Journal Family Business Awards the other day, and several of my friends and their companies were nominated, and they didn't win this year. They probably will at some point. But the joy that I saw in them for those that won was what inspired me more than had they won and gotten up there and given an acceptance speech. To truly see the joy that they felt for those that won. And it was a pretty amazing event, by the way. God was featured heavily, and love and gratitude were featured heavily in the acceptance speeches that day. Promise yourself to forget the mistakes of the past and to press on to the greater achievements of the future, to wear a cheerful countenance at all times, and to give every living creature you meet a smile. I've shared before that when I used to take the train up to USC, I would make a conscious effort many days, not every day, but many days, to smile at a stranger. And sometimes they looked at me like I was weird or flirting or, you know, what's this guy doing looking at me and smiling at me? But most of the time, I got a warm smile back. And all the time, I got a warm feeling in my heart that I smiled and hopefully made somebody's day, even if it was just my own, a little bit better that day. Promise yourself to give so much time to the improvement of yourself that you have no time to criticize others. To be too large for worry, too noble for anger, too strong for fear, and too happy to permit the presence of trouble. Troubling world, mentioned that a minute ago. A lot going on in this world that we could focus on. I've alluded to it already once, and a couple of days ago, my friend Meredith Elliott Powell, who I had on this gratitude podcast, made a great point that has struck me. Um, we turn on the news, and the news's intention is to make us mad and to rile us up. And it's easy to see that happening with all this going on around us as I speak to you now. There have been riots in the streets of LA and other cities around the country, a devastating plane crash in India, bombing in Israel, a lot of things in the news that if we focus our attention there, we're going to get worked up. And, I hesitate to even bring those up. But my point being, even with all those things going on, we should focus on, I'm going to read that last one again, to be too large for worry, too noble for anger, too strong for fear, and too happy to permit the presence of trouble. Doesn't mean trouble won't be there, but focus on our happiness. And then the last stanza of this poem, promise yourself to think well of yourself and to proclaim this fact to the world, not in loud words, but great deeds. To live in faith that the whole world is on your side, so long as you are true to the best that is in you. It brings up the thought, what if people around you, what if we assume that everyone around us has our best interest in mind rather than wanting to tear us down? How would we look at them differently? So I'm going to go back and I'm just going to read this now without my 2 cents. Just listen to these words and hopefully you'll find strength in these words. I have copies of this. If you'd like it, send me a message. I'll happily send it to you or bring it to you. I'll put a stack in my truck so next time I see you, I could give it to you. Or you can do like I did this morning and I just found it online. Just type in promise yourself. And again, it's written by Christian D. Larson. So here you go. I'll finish with this. Promise yourself to be so strong that nothing can disturb your peace of mind, to talk health, happiness, and prosperity to every person you meet, to make all your friends feel that there is something in them, to look at the sunny side of everything and make your optimism come true, to think only the best, to work only for the best, and to expect only the best, to be just as enthusiastic about the success of others as you are about your own, to forget the mistakes of the past and press on to the greater achievements of the future, to wear a cheerful countenance at all times, to give every living creature you meet a smile, to give so much time to the improvement of yourself that you have no time to criticize others, to be too large for worry, too noble for anger, too strong for fear, and too happy to permit the presence of trouble, to think well of yourself and to proclaim this fact to the world, not in loud words, but great deeds, to live in faith that the whole world is on your side, so long as you are true to the best that is in you. Life may not be what you want it to be. There are still tons of reasons to be positive. Smile, hope, love, and live. It can be hard, but sometimes it's the only way to stay resilient. My prayer for all of you is that you can make that promise to yourself, to just see the good in others, to see the good in yourself. This Saturday, June 14th, the day before Father's Day, again, I obviously honor my father. I honor my father-in-law, Herb Fredette, who passed away about 5 or so years ago. I honor the dads in my life, my brother Steve up in Northern California, my brother Ken, who's not a dad, but he's a great uncle and a great father figure, to my brothers-in-law, both two of the three whom have gone on to heaven, my brother-in-law Ron, my brother-in-law John, both wonderful dads before they passed away, my brother-in-law Mark, who was a great father to 4 boys, who just retired from working over 40 years as a high school teacher at St. Francis High School. those are just the family dads. I've got nephews who are amazing fathers. I have so many friends who are great dads and great role models to me about how to be a dad. But ultimately, the greatest father that I want to honor today is my Father in heaven. The blessings that I have in my life, those people I just mentioned, all of you who are watching and listening today, the friendships that I have, the marriage that I have to my best friend, Lorianne, who I've known for 40, do the math, Ed, 43 years now. We've known each other, 32 of which we've been married and raised wonderful kids. And now we're into the grandparenting phase. Just full of gratitude for the dads in my life. My old high school baseball coach, who, even though I only knew him for 4 years in high school, we followed up and stayed in touch until he passed. Gene Martin. Just, I could go on and on naming and rattling off the dads in my life who have been a father figure to me, but I just want to honor those of you who are raising great young people and just, again, promise yourself to be optimistic, to be loving, to be caring and kind, and to make sure that those you love know that you love them through not just your words, but your deeds. Happy Father's Day, and God bless you all.